The human body is capable of some pretty incredible things, like recovering from the removal of ridiculous objects ranging from living creatures to children's toys. Nothing is more cringeworthy than finding out the pain/discomfort you've been feeling is actually the result of a foreign object lodged into the wrong place. Here are 10 of the craziest things ever found inside the human body. Number 10. I guess, despite what your parents have led you to believe, vegetables actually can harm you. This was true for Ronan Svedan, who suspected he was suffering from a tumor and later found out he had a pea plant lodged in his lungs. The cough this small food caused could have been enough to turn him away from vegetables forever. Number 9. In an attempt to heighten his self-pleasure, a Chinese man thought it would be a genius idea to insert a living eel right into his behind. Maybe in the pornographic movie he stole the idea from it worked out well, but this is the real world. And in the real world, inserting a living eel into your anus results in the fish chewing a hole right through your colon and into your large intestine. I wish I could say this incident ended on a good note, but unfortunately, the eel got stuck in the man's body cavity. Doctors were able to remove it, but he suffered from internal bleeding. Number 8. After dealing with intolerable stomach pains, this innocent 8-year-old girl was rushed to the hospital in an effort to find out what was going on with her. What the doctors discovered was unlike anything they had ever seen. The young girl had swallowed 30 magnets, which continued to move around in her stomach due to the magnetic force. This movement caused tears in her organs, but eventually she recovered. I guess she was just attracted to the taste. Get it? Number 7. I'm all for trying new things, but swallowing shiny objects? Clearly, this was an enjoyable activity for a man from France who suffered from severe stomach pains and a swollen abdomen. After running several tests to discover what was causing the pain, the doctors were amazed to find out that there were 350 coins, multiple necklaces, and needles all sitting in his stomach. As a matter of fact, it was all so heavy that his stomach was weighed down to his hips. Number 6. We've all swallowed a fly here and there, and maybe even felt one land inside our ears. But we never had a clue about the horror something seemingly simple could result in. Neither did this 92-year-old woman who found 57 maggots inside her ear. The belief was that after a fly landed in her ear, it laid eggs and the maggots had been there for 3 days. Number 5. Finding maggots in your ear is probably pretty disgusting, but I can think of a few other creatures who could definitely top that. Like a cockroach, for instance. When Australian Hendrik Helmer felt a pain in his ear, he gave it the benefit of the doubt and assumed it was, well, a spider. Close, Helmer, but no cigar. A visit to the doctor and some tweezers was all he needed to remove an inch-long cockroach from his ear. Number 4. We all have different ways of coping with arguments with our loved ones, and I'm not one to judge, but I'm pretty sure swallowing cobblestones isn't the best way to handle those situations. Apparently, this woman from China disagreed with that and swallowed over 20 cobblestones in a fit of anger at her boyfriend. Falsely having faith in her body to digest the cobblestones like regular food, she wasn't worried. However, after suffering from intense stomach pains, she finally went to the hospital. The cobblestones were all hitting against each other at the bottom of her stomach, and the doctors performed surgery to remove them. Number 3. After years of chest pain, 20-year-old Anuj Ranjan finally decided it was time for relief. He visited a doctor who diagnosed him with tuberculosis and told him he would eventually need surgery. When he finally did come in for surgery, what the doctors found was unbelievable. It turns out that Ranjan had been in a terrible car accident several years earlier, where a car pushed a belt, yes a belt, in between his heart and his lung. The doctors were able to remove the belt, but with the belt came some of his lung. However, luckily Ranjan recovered from this freak accident and went along with his life, probably with his pants hanging pretty low. Number 2. In an effort to keep his fish safe and free from harm, this young Indian boy ended up, not safe and free from harm. In the midst of cleaning his fish tank, the boy went to the bathroom to relieve himself, fish in hand. Little did he know, the fish slipped out of his hand right up his urethra and into his bladder. It was carefully removed, though I'm sure the little boy cared much less about the cleanliness of his fish's home after this incident. Number 1. By far the worst thing ever discovered inside the human body is, well, another human body. That's right. 30-year-old Sanju Bhagat was never too concerned about his large stomach, assuming it was just some extra belly fat. However, after experiencing breath loss and suspecting it might be a tumor, Bhagat went to his doctor and soon discovered it was actually his twin living and growing in his stomach. They were able to remove the partially developed body existing inside of him. Those are the 10 craziest things found in the human body. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more content, please subscribe. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Or otherwise, the craziest thing found in your body will be a fucking knife. I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm not. But seriously, what's the craziest thing you've ever heard of being in someone else's body? The twin thing is pretty gross. I know that sharks eat a suit of armor, but I guess that's not a person's body, is it? Oh well, close enough.